Oh, that first map was some just great Counter-Strike, Vince. I want more of the same. That's all I asked for, man. I'm not demanding much, I don't think. Let's just jump into Nuke and get more of the same. Please, please deliver, because honestly, this finals, Vince, has the makings of something great.
Completely agree and echo all of those sentiments and much more. This really could be a banger of a map. Again, last time they met, it was Liquid that had their hands held high. And if that happens again, they are going to take home all the plaudits, all the accolades of the DreamHack Open Summer 2020. They will be NA's champions. But Liquid starting on the T side, can they start things off aggressively, or will FURIA put them back? There's some utility picked up on the CT side here, as I think this is a false alarm.
Whoa,
I think this is going to be restarted. So we can just chill for a little bit longer, scoring. It's okay. They're just trying to hype us up, you know?
Sure.
They're teasing. They're flirting with us.
I like the build-up, Vince. I'm all for it. So there we go. Back into the spawn. Everybody settle down. I was crunching some numbers. Well, actually, HLTV crunches them for me. But still, even after that first map, Grim, having not taken over the show as a one-man army, hangs on to being the highest-rated player at the event. His first event with Liquid, still online, and he's up there. Only one map separates him from the virtual trophy lift. And of course, the coveted first place. DreamHack Open Summer 2020 in North America. But Grim, he's going to be fighting off the back foot. Going to be walking in a little wobbly because that fantastic frag grenade almost took down half his health. Team Liquid, a little bit of utility here onto the feet of K Serrato. That's Mini. And they answered back with the smoke onto Squeaky themselves. Very tense pistol round, and nobody really wants to make much of a move just yet.
Flashes out, the push comes out as well. Twist gets the first. Yuri also chips in. He gets a double. And now Henny can hold the line as he spins into a double headshot. So Liquid, they took their time to press onto the site, but when they did, they got obliterated. FURIA claimed first blood on Nuke, which will be great news for the neutral. Important that they got themselves into winning ways early on, because Yuri here just dancing around the silo for a 3K, and then Henny finishes off what he started. And we did see an interview or a kind of a video from Grim earlier on in the tournament before the semi-finals saying this is his first semi-finals of a tournament of this stature. Well, this is his first finals now, Shawnee. This is a precious situation, and Henny, okay, he's just been wrecked through the smoke.
Oh my god, and then Stewie finds him on timing. Henny's trying to drop grenades, trying to puff his chest, shoots through a little bit more as if like, yeah, I'm Dink, so what? And then here comes Stewie 2K, and he's gonna come back on ramp. If he just looks left, he could get another kill, and that's the USP. We know Art comes into these second rounds with USPs. It nearly costs him, but Yuri's able to cut down 2 players outdoors, bomb included. Twist snaps into position versus K Serrato, but it is only Grim left standing. He hears the player close, connects a little bit more damage, and I'm sure you can all see how that round could have gotten a little more wild, but still an explosive second round considering the minimal investments of Team Liquid. Now they come in with their buy. There's an op on Art, not Henny just yet. Henny actually likes to play an aggressive stance in ramp room, sometimes making some big risks, kind of like he just did. But if that smoke wasn't there, sometimes he even continues on to the lobby crunch. Molly's outdoors, smokes already starting to pop and plume as Elige makes his way through to an unguarded secret stairs.
Perhaps not guarded to start things off, but now the CT is going to start to move their way in. Twist, smoke in his eyes, goes aggressively, tries to pre-fire those box angles, but no one's home. Fury have already dipped out. Will stall Liquid that little bit longer. Now Elige still feeling like maybe Secret is the way forward to try and pincer around the back of the CT. He's a player in garage. But whereas Art was downstairs before with his AWP, he's now moved away. He's gone back to ramps. That opens up Secret to some incursions, some aggression. He realizing this goes back in again, but Elige already moving into place. Gonna have a duel between these two heavy hitters, potentially, or maybe not. They're going to bypass all of this by pushing outside instead. They're getting each other's way, but the timing there to duck down, nearly getting team killed, and Twist gets 3, sprays out onto the A side. It's all on Henny with the MP9, but the firepower is lacking. It will not stand toe-to-toe with these AK-47s, and now Art's going to show his hand. He goes aggressively through on Squeaky. That's the bomb that goes with him. Has the right idea. Elise spraying up through the vent, not landing a single bullet. And Art goes back in for more. He's been tagged down to now 19 HP. Post-plant comes up, and Grim with full HP's up against him. All the pressure, all the emphasis put on Art's shoulders. Very capable shoulders as he lands a shot onto Grim. Art creates carnage on the canvas, and Fury gonna get their 3rd round.
Just paints the canvas thick with blood, baby. Art coming back from squeaky door, just calling out every single one of those peaks to dodge the flash and get that 2nd kill into the mini-man. That is huge. But once he did that, Vince, like you could see him proactively pushing each time. Goes for the bomb carrier, gets it. Goes for the mini kill and gets it. And this one was a sitter. He waited for Grim to get uncomfortable, and you could hear it happening. You could almost watch it unfold. Grim flashing the front sight, trying to peek left and right, feeling as though Art was getting closer and closer. But what he didn't realize is that he peeks into the clutch to Art's avail. A huge round, a huge clutch for Art to pick up there. Team Liquid gonna buy right back into it. Twist, I mean, he had a beautiful 3K as well, but it all just gets completely canceled out by Art. And Alicia's attempt to entry into ramp, or rather mini, also gets denied. A 5v3 immediately as Henny tucks tail back down ramp closer towards the B site. Art gets active, pushing through lobby with an op. He does what he damn well pleases. And all that's left of these T's is Naf and Grim in ramp room.
Two exceptional players, though. On their day, they could feasibly pull this off. Against FURIA, perhaps not. Yuri, who was last seen in Garage, having the temerity to play that same position twice in a row after dying previously, now going to go down. That's 3, not far off. Vinny survives on 1 HP. What could have been for Liquid? Can they turn the tides? As Art did against them in the round previous. Grim, full HP, will get the drop onto Vinny. Now it's all about where these last 2 CTs reside in case Zerato makes Squeaky his home. 4-0 start on the side of Furia. And do you know what's terrifying here for Liquid, Scrawny? Last time they played Nuke, it was 16-10. Liquid won it. We've already been over that. Art was bottom of the scoreboard with 11 kills and a 0.65 rating. Well, he's the player that started to show up here early on.
Hell yeah. And Yuri's also performing just as well as he did on Vertigo too. He is that top fragger for the moment. You know, I think a little side conversation will be interesting to see how Grim can get into this game. You know, sometimes losing that 1 versus 1 early, that can do a lot to your confidence. And remember, he's never been to the semifinal with teams like this, let alone having a map advantage over Furia as they absolutely deny any entry into that A site. It's Grim yet again, tapping with the tech. Vinny, perhaps his 2nd head, but Grim now back in lobby, being flanked and being cut off. What? Henny's over in ramp. That must have been, was that through 2 walls and a smoke?
I need to see a replay on that one.
We have a timeout. I don't want to put you under pressure, production, but please. It's okay, I forgive you.
I'm sure we'll find a clip of that later. The other really scary thing here for Liquid is, as you can see on the scoreboard, they've got only 1 plant in 5. So it's not as if they've been rolling through onto the site. They've been getting really close rounds. Sure, we've had a couple of 2v2, 1v1 scenarios here, with Art obviously winning his. But this has been a pretty solid denial across the board. The Brazilians are in fine form. It was Liquid who started Vertigo incredibly strong in the last map. They started 4-0. Then I think they got the 5th round pretty early on with Furia coming back into them themselves. But Liquid, this is your choice on T side. You have been pretty lackluster thus far. Things have got to change quickly.
Sure. I feel you. You don't want Furia firing up. you know, FURIA, they go into the Vertigo pick as they do, right? Again, they don't give, they're very self-aware when it comes down to not changing their identity for anyone. And I think that's why Christine could so easily call out that Vertigo pick. They tried it, even despite it not going their way in their most recent matchup versus Liquid. Don't get me wrong, holy hell, that game was close. But now they're turning things around here on Nuke. Excellent CT start for FURIA. Terrorists inching ever closer outdoors. This is a new position for Yuri. He has been quite consistently inside of the big garage, and you can see Stewie and Elise trying to focus in on him. But this is a completely different off angle. And if they start to think this is clear, only to focus more so on Mini, or possibly Hell, then I think Yuri's going to give him hell. Peeks right into Stewie. Elise is there to trade it. So a 4v4 ensues, but Stu has hit the dirt. Nash going to burn Case Dorado into the open. Either he puts it out or goes for the peek, and oh my goodness, he gets the kill, but Grim, immediate trade frag. Elige, he's going to get damaged as Art connects into Twist. Grim trades on to Vinny. 12 HP for the 2 remaining T's, and Art, oh, he tries to cheat around the side of the smoke yet again, and it's Henny, now tasked to clutch. Oh, and he gets shut down too. Elige, welcome to the scoreboard. All 3 kills so far this map in that 6th round.
This is the
Henny
wall
bang.
Oh, no.
Thank you, production. I appreciate your efforts.
Yeah, really sick to see that in real time. And oh my goodness. I mean, I think Grim was dead anyway, but still, just the style points. There you go. You're going to be getting wrecked from ramp from now on, ladies and gents. In all your matchmaking games, you're welcome. You're welcome. Henny's given that across to the world. FURIA, interestingly, go for a force, but prioritize AWPs over utility. So Henny and Art both have an AWP apiece. And in these kind of situations, FURIA, the best of times, are going to be aggressive, but when they know they have no kits and no nades to fall back on, this could get interesting really quick. Liquid, though, they are just a couple of mere steps, Scrawny, from securing not just the 2nd round, but breaking FURIA's economy in the process and getting straight back into this half.
Consistency in this yard control. Just funny because, you know, 2 snipers and neither with eyes outside. Got Yuri tucked in garage as he has been. Henny, immediate rotation down from ramp. I mean, that wall of smokes, they don't know numbers, but it's strong. Team Liquid, 4 players ready to commit to this first corner. And if Stewie's not careful, he's just going to get slapped back by the sniper. Molly goes in, Henny goes out. Grim able to connect both of those kills. Has Henny on the front side of the fire, and then an instantaneous headshot into Vinny. Yuri's position will catch a player off guard yet again, but I think this, more than anything else, just primes FURIA for the for the save.
Yep.
Not the retake. That 1 kill gets a 2nd rifle into the hands of what was the pistol player, Case Dorado. And a swift entry from Grim is enough to win the round. But obviously, that crossfire could have boiled down the other way, easily. All it takes is Henny to connect that first shot, duck his head in, and Vinny pops up to hold them off as they try to chase, and not the case. As we have had across many rounds on Vertigo, it comes down to the wire, but this time Liquid takes it.
Also suggests that Liquid just having a great read. Whoever called that, spot on. Because you could see from FURIA's perspective, they had that crossfire, but Henny goes aggressively. I don't think he is expecting to have 2 or 3 players peeking him at once, because typically beforehand, it's just been Elige going downstairs. They've actually had a distinct lack of downstairs control hits on the B side. They did get 1 of their 2 rounds down there, but it was mainly because of all the carnage and all the bloodshed outside that kind of facilitated that push. So maybe they're anticipating 1 player to go in. Henny gets the pick, he can just kind of drop off after that. But no, 3 players charge into his face. Beautiful entries, by the way. That 2nd kill onto the decon stairs was lightning quick. There was no hope at all for FURIA. And now, as you highlighted correctly, they do go back for the save. Coming into round 8, Liquid have called a tactical timeout. Nice money building and accruing. And we're in that sweet spot now, Scrawny, where this half was looking pretty one-sided and starting to fear a little bit for Liquid, but now completely in the tipping scales and the balance.
We talk about the balance of matchups between these two teams throughout 2020. FURIA, 6 series wins to Liquid's 1. But Liquid had the most recent. And maybe now, those scales you talk about ever so tip closer. Art, he had a very real chance at that second shot. Elige, a bit of a labored spray. Yuri trades straight away. And Yuri goes back in for second servings, trying to keep them off of Squeaky. But Grim goes ahead and catches Henny. That's that ramp play I'm talking about. Sometimes he just gets really aggressive. And it could have worked out had he corralled those players on Squeaky. But Grim, finding his number, now gives them a second chance. Liquid, don't get me wrong, still coming out worse for wear. I mean, look at the HP. But Vinny, he pops out the window, maybe not knowing 2 players have already crossed to the depths of this B bomb site. Someone's going to have to go down and plant. And right now it's on Stewie, but he has 100 HP. Do you want his hands busy with a bomb? Or do you just chuck this over to Grim and feed the new guy to the wolves that could reside down in this snake pit of a lower B site? Stewie drops, closes the door, and just immediately hopes that it doesn't swing back open, but the CTs were on the other side. Still for now, all kills denied, and Stewie climbs back up to the rafters. How does this retake unfold? 1 kit on K-Serrato. Smoke for the bomb, perhaps. Double flashbang if they need to burst out. Then he's going to go ahead and pop the second window. Flashbang over towards ramp. That's where Stewie's at. No, excuse me. Stewie's still on rafters, and he gets aggressive, trying to take it all by control. Now leaving the lesser half players to try and keep this up. But Yuri, he is on an absolute tear. 3 kills in the post plant, but he got the kit. There's time. I swear there's time. Just enough of it. FURIA find their 6th.
Ooh, the scramble at the end for FURIA. I thought they'd whiffed it. I thought they derped it at the end there. But no, they held on for dear life, and that retake was beautiful. But it comes down to the point that you eloquently made before. 2 of the 3 Liquid plays was so low. 1 bullet on either of them, and they were dead. And that's why they had to play this more aggressive style of retake, because they know they can just get wall banged. Those sort of catwalk areas, almost like paper thin, especially when you're on low HP. 1 bullet, you're dead. So they had to go for those peaks. Grim landed a beautiful nade as well, by the way, on the approach and the double doors. Softened both the CTs up. But Liquid, they do concede. FURIA get their 6th. They call the tactical timeout now. Plenty of timeouts called early on, because they know the importance of kicking off this map in the best possible way. You've already conceded your choice. Make sure you convert these advantages that you currently possess into more rounds, and do not slip and slide, because make no mistake, FURIA's economy is still ripe for the taking. Liquid can still pull this back very quickly.
Sure. And I think with Yuri being this far ahead of the rest, you know, it's really on the tip of the needle in terms of falling over. If he doesn't have a big multi-kill round, then maybe that's just enough for Liquid to rob it back, and then some. But Art getting aggressive on the op yet again. Tries to find some contact in lobby here, but there's nothing actually lying in wait just yet. You know, Naf is in there, but passive as ever. Molly's gonna make a move. Art would have heard that. Now he is very much on high alert. And Naf no longer alone. 2 players trying to squeak around on the side of Mini. As Naf does get that opening headshot through door, Art, he can hold this position. If nobody from this T side comes through hut, then Art could be the thorn in their side in terms of a post plant. Yuri's gonna try to line up spray through Mini, and it almost works, but here comes Grim with the headshot. Art does fall back for just the 1 kill, because Twist comes in eventually. And this is what I'm talking about, Vince. If it's not Yuri with the multi-frags, then who's stepping up for FURIA?
That is a question that's going to be bouncing around the back of their minds. Somebody else has got to step up tall, and Yuri's done an exquisite job out in Garage and mixing it up in different angles. A real pain in the ass, honestly a masterclass. If you want to find out how to play outside on CT side Nuke, watch Yuri.
Without
they did a good job of bypassing him.
That's the coolest thing about Yuri's outer side, is like it's you know, so often you can see riflers just ripped apart by aggressive T-side oppers, and not Yuri, because he's just always passively tucked into all these different angles. You're dead on. You can learn a lot from him outside.
So here is that economic crumble that I was alluding to before. Liquid successful, FURIA force fight. MP9 Deagles aggression outside. Who else but, of course, Art, using that smoke as a bit of cover. Now shows his hand. That's the bomb that drops with him, and there's 2 kills alongside it. He can now retrieve into the shadows, and all they see is a silhouette dancing around the edges, landing frags, and then somehow surviving. Another smoke comes out. Art's still hiding in there, still keeping that bomb down. The HP is solid from Liquid. Their firepower definitely matching up to that mantle. But Grim is unsure. He wants to make sure he doesn't get pushed and skewered once again from Art's Deagle. Art could do this alone. Now making noise. Footsteps are found, but Grim whiffing out on his chance. If he goes down, the chances of Liquid winning this round go with him. But he takes Art with him at the very least and controls the bomb once more. However, his teammate, his partner in crime of Nafly, has bit the dust, and Grim gets shut down from behind. Not only does Art get those 2 kills, Crawley, look how long he delays them picking the bomb up, and this allows and facilitates Vinny to push around the back and catch him off guard.
You saw Grim for a moment as well give a thought to his flank. Maybe there was an audio cue or something, but he snapped back onto the top of Silo. He was looking for that peek from Vinny, but obviously pushed forward by it. Fantastic round from Art. Laying down like 2, 3, maybe 4 smoke grenades in the mix of it all, just picking it up off the corpses and using it to buy that crucial time. He is so good at finding the center of smokes. Like, he never, I feel like a lot of players try to play inside of smoke grenades and just kind of get lost in the sauce. Not Art. He finds the center of it, sometimes even looking at his feet to find the center, and then he just posts up. So that way he knows the exact amount of timing he has to emerge from that and catch players off guard. You know, there's more to playing in smoke grenades than just holding W through them. And I think Art, he's a good example of it. He's just tucked on box. What a fantastic play to make, clearing out Stewie as well, and getting rid of that MP9, the upgrade to the AK. I asked the question that if it wasn't multi-kills from Yuri, who was expected to step up? Well, Art now 2 rounds in a row, shutting down outdoors. Henny, committed position for the 3K spray down. No entry allowed for Team Liquid. They now trail by 5.
Second round in a row that Art goes aggressively outside. Different position. Liquid clearly haven't read the script, didn't realize that was a possibility, and now it's their turn to feel the sting. 2 players, mid-2000s. They do have 3 that could afford, and because they're 8-3 behind, I think there would be an inclination at the back of their minds to think, maybe we should force this, because if we don't, FURIA get into such a good position in their first half here.
I think one of the things that has really set Art up to succeed in these last 2 rounds, Vince, is the passiveness of Yuri throughout the first 10 rounds of this game. You know, we were praising him for his positions inside of Garage, outside of Garage to the right. Just kind of very non-bluntly holding every single thing they could try and play outdoors. Now suddenly Art, as blunt as can be, is punching them in the face from as close as he can get. And that's just a total contrast to what Team Liquid have been playing against for, again, the first 10 rounds. So a good change-up, a good shift in tempo. Yuri, he takes that gun duel versus Elige as these pistols trickle into the 12th round. Team Liquid not meant to get much, but still they find the bomb plant. Grim dives down the vent and gets away with a little bit of money. His 3 teammates not really close enough to stop this, so Vinny's just going to get the round over with, while Nafly finds a gun. K-Serrado closes with another kill, but as we said, that defuse, it was so far away from the rest of the T side that they just go ahead and stick it. Not too surprising, Vince, that one falls to the wayside, but now we get Liquid back in with the big buy. No ops for either side. I dig it.
Yeah, just holding on to what they have. And Liquid decide, we're going to fight fire with fire. We're going to go aggressively, at least post up with that possibility early on. And if Art is the blunt force trauma of a sledgehammer, then Yuri definitely is that surgical precision of a scalpel, I would say. The way that he is picking players apart from Garage and Blue Container so often. Really beautiful setup. Art again, aggressive outside. Unreal that he has the temerity to go for that 3 or 4 times in a row. But this time he's been punished. This time Liquid aren't making that same mistake. But they don't check for Yuri. Yuri's now posted up with them. Nearly a triple spray. But Unleash holds on with 14 HP and a 3k by his side. And now Liquid have a chance, a glimmer of an opportunity to maybe pull this back somewhat come the end of the half. But Serato and Henny, they're still stood against them. Serato on Squeaky. Are they going to anticipate this position? Moving back and forth, keeping himself mobile. 1 kill traded out, and Grim gets 2. So Henny was also positioned just behind, and Liquid get their 4th.
I love that Art does it again because Yuri's in position to catch them by surprise. And Elige kind of using Twist as a bit of a meat shield, but if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. His 3K was instrumental to shutting down that outer play. FURIA very much changing face, and I think this may start to shift Liquid's attention over towards ramp. We've seen Henny have to play this alone, and that solo ramp hold could be a call to combat for Liquid, but Art, a different look. Starting to pry deeper around the boxes, not posted up with his face in the crack, but instead, a little more patiently back, finds that deep angle, finds that first kill, and it's on Elige. Art is now 14-7. I want to say, and I will confirm, nope, has not yet crossed the path of Yuri, who has 16 frags at the very, very top. But Art, his right-hand man, sticking in another shot for Naf. Yuri's going to pick up the kill versus Stewie. Art now knows there's a player close, and oh my god, he doesn't panic. In fact, he then just cranks the dial, but Twist will punish for that one. And he's trying to chase this back in the 1 versus 5, which is just so undoable, so unwinnable, and so incredibly unlikely. Double digits for FURIA on the CT side. Team Liquid's map choice. And the easier of halves lie await, perhaps. But they've got to get a 5th round, I feel. 10-5, and we can kind of let this one unfold in the back half. Bewildering to see some of these players so shut down by FURIA. 17 frags for Yuri, 16 kills on Art. Those 2 players alone are a step ahead of the other 8. Yuri dealing substantial damage to that smoke grenade as yet again Team Liquid try to go for that secret cross and do so successfully, but they're met by utility and aggression. Art, he is going to peek into this and get punished for it. Twist takes his head, and now we're going to get them to activate. Team Liquid charging headstrong into the B site, just taking player after player down. Henny now the only answer, and Grim's going to make quick work of him right then after. Vinny 1v4 Vince to close out this first half.
It's looking good for Liquid's 5th and give them a bit of a lifeline. Vinny may cut that abruptly short, but he has no utility to play with, an incendiary in his face. And on top of that, he has Twists on the other side, plus a slew of terrorists who are looking to envelop him, and envelop him they shall. Halftime reads 10-5 in favor of FURIA.
Team FURIA sitting confident on a 5-round lead. But Vince, they've now got Team Liquid on the defense on their map pick. And maybe that's enough to turn this one back around. It's heavy utility for FURIA in this second pistol. But a lot on the line. Grand finals time. Map and a half deep. Vinny moves his feet quickly through the hut and Twist stands above. No contact just yet. Barely any damage done. And the bomb plant's not far off of this. Here's Henny trying to give cover over towards Mini side. He is that bomb planter, so now he commits. And the flashbang means Team Liquid, they just drop down from heaven. There's keys right in front of them. That smoke grenade creating chaos as Liquid just sweep away the second pistol.
The envelop of the retake. Too good for FURIA to contend with. They do give up the bomb plant. However, FURIA have some decisions. And how often is this a hotbed of discussion? The current economic situation in Counter-Strike. Often, you win the pistol as CTs. If there's a bomb plant, it could end up being pretty sketchy indeed. Because if FURIA decide to force buy, which let's face it, they often do, they're going to have some Galils in play at the very least. So 2 AKs, actually no, an AK and SG, and they pick up a late Galil on Yuri. So it was a pretty labored discussion. Interestingly enough, this is something you don't see too often anymore. SG picked up early. This is a gun that's fell out of favor for a lot of players, but not for Vinny. And he's doing this by design. It gives you longer range potential outside, so he is just checking all of those angles carefully. But if Secret goes unchecked, Elige is going to punish them. He will pummel them through with this FAMAS.
Vinny getting ever closer. Elige is going to pop his head up. Oh, a bit of a late reaction, but still able to catch that first kill. Art trades it and focuses forward to find Naf on the scout. This AK from Art looking to be all the difference. Henny can't quite contain Grim inside of the hut. In case Dorado hears that reload just on the other side of the door. So we do get FURIA ducking down to the B bomb site. Now listen, Vinny, he was one of the very first adopters of that creed, even before all the other pros knew of the meta. So he has the most hours on it. But does Yuri have that same comfort with the weapons? Seems so. Quick little headshot into Stewie, and it is almost flawless. The moment they had that secret stairs under control, they followed through with the round win. Team Liquid offering up an early entry to a successful T side. 5 rounds the lead, 11-6.
And what did I say before? The economic discussion goes on. FURIA, 3 rifles. Get it done. Liquid into a force fight, including a scout and some upgraded pistols. They're well and truly backs against the wall. Almost the worst case scenario if they do not convert this round, and it's just aggression. Art taking the MP9 from the CTs, using it against them, but Stewie locking down main. Here comes Grim. We know he's a phenom with the 5-7. We've already seen some crazy plays throughout this tournament, and Team Liquid have the slight advantage. Grim very low, but they're picking up some weapons and using them against the oncoming Brazilians. Fury now last man standing. And they don't have control of the bomb Liquid, so Yuri can scamper away, turn tail, and run. Keep his options open, because how quickly they went into their early grave FURIA. Over a minute to play with. Stewie threw the wall into the head of Yuri, and Liquid, they don't care about the economy. They're still gonna make their mixed match buy-up work.
I'm so down for that, because now we've got a CT side that's not going to stutter, or at least hasn't stalled. Stutters, actually, most certainly, because having lost that second round, you're thinking it's way too easy for them to just write it off. But Vince, check out the free hardware. 3 AK-47s for Team Liquid. Stewie having only 5 kills before he connects those 2 scout shots last round. And Grim, phenom on the pistol, as you've said. His pistol plays fantastic. Nap, he's going to go for that peek on ramp room, trying to contain FURIA before they just charge straight down into that B site, which is pretty open for the taking. Naf goes passive. Twists. Patient 2. Here's the footsteps drop. We'd know that there's at least one man on site, but Art, he's still up on the rafters. And Twists, clean execution with the FAMAS. Surviving the headshot, presumably because of the glass. Now Henny, he's posted up himself. Yuri, he's going to take a bunch of damage here. FURIA, they're looking to claw this one back. Back and forth affair in terms of force buys. Henny could be the world of difference, but it's Vinny with the final kill. Again, FURIA with the lesser weaponry coming out on top.
And again, Liquid will be forced into a force buy. FURIA, 5-round lead, calling a second tactical timeout. Liquid have the scout. Curious if Nafly is going to drop that across to Stewie, because he did so much work with it last time around. Only has 7 kills, but 2 or 3 of those frags came at the hands of the scout. Liquid certainly slowing it down. In that first half, it may have been Yuri that had the most kills coming through into the second round, but honestly, the amount of impact that Art had was so huge. The amount of opening picks he got, the amount of times that he basically set up Yuri for frags was pretty ludicrous. And now through on the T side, this is where that aggression is going to be that much more powerful. Can Liquid handle it? Can they deal with that oncoming scourge of terrorists time after time? Well, it's going to have to start here, because if they lose this, they're into an eco and a 13-7 deficit. But Nafly is going to keep control of the scout. Sees a few players hopping and toing and throwing outside, but the smoke's in play. Not any longer. They run out dry, and Nafly puts a bullet between the eyes of Henny. They know that they've pushed downstairs. So information gathered from Liquid plus the first pick.
Yeah, but there's no procedure here in place. Liquid, they have yet to rotate down onto that B site. They took full control of lobby room first. There was a bomb plant off of the back of this, then they would already have themselves in such a comfortable position, but because it's delayed, Alish, he gets a chance on the flank, but he misses. Uncharacteristic. He had an absolute sitter with the Deeg, and now Stewie's chance on the hand cannon also coming up empty-handed for the time being. He's mollied back. There was an opening here for Team Liquid, but now FURIA, they have their feet confidently planted on the bomb site with the bomb itself. Flash into the face of Stewie. 4 members of Liquid trying to get out from these double doors, but everybody's just being culled right back. Naf, sure, he may connect the scout shot yet again, but it's way too little, way too late. If Alish gets that kill outside, if that stutters FURIA even for another moment, then maybe, just maybe, the defense can reel back from lobby onto the ramp room and put up a better fight. But Vince, it doesn't unfold that way. It's FURIA getting through relatively unscathed. A 13-7 lead for the T side versus a broken bye.
An entire lack of buy, lack of purchase going through into round 21. Liquid simply couldn't afford it. Even next round's not going to be ideal. FURIA in a beautiful position to close out this second map and take us to Inferno. Twist hiding in the smoke with the knife may try his hand, decides to switch to the USP, and Art will pick up both the opening picks. And this round is coming to an abrupt conclusion. And Scrawny, I for one, would welcome that third map decider. Inferno has delivered so many times, and against these two teams, it should be a classic. But of course, they still got to get their FURIA. They still have 2 more rounds they need to pick up, and Liquid definitely don't write them off just yet.
Remember Potter as well. She calls out this Nuke pick, and it very easily could have been Inferno second map, Nuke decider, or something else as a third. But Inferno, we know that it was either that or Nuke in terms of Liquid's map pick. I feel like that was for certain. So I don't think the quality of gameplay is going to drop off if we get to that third map, if we get there, because Liquid still have a chance here with the buy and an opening pick. But FURIA so comfortably sitting on double the round count of Liquid. I mean, I'm sure even these 5 Liquid players feel that third map breathing on their neck. Let's see if FURIA can wreck any chances of the comeback here in this 3 versus 4. We've had a couple of kills unfold in Garage. K Serato hangs on in lobby alone. Naf, who started the show with that op pick, can't quite find his next charade, but look at the T up close. Yuri, he's creeping inwards. Oh my God, Naf, he just barrel stuffs him. All of Yuri's, attempted work there. He thinks he's James Bond sneaking up close. Naf just splatters him like a bug on the windshield. Insignificant. Twist, easy hut kill, and now it is just Vinny. So FURIA, they tried to go silent across the map. They tried to work their way behind enemy lines, and it just hasn't happened. Hasn't given them that massive opening until now. Vinny, slipping through hell, could go down to the B site and try and make a plant off of the back of this. I mean, it's so incredibly unlikely that anything comes of it, but Vince, there is a chance.
The chances are there, but the time itself is working against him, so it's almost like a 1v5. Vinny has to contend with all the CTs, he has to try and break open the site. Post-plant, even if he does get a plant, it's about, realistically, how much damage can he do? But he will get the plant down successfully. No one's close enough for the TETs. They seem to have overlooked this entirely. Molotov on Decon allows him to try and make plays through double doors. At this point, it's all about just throwing in all the risks you can if you're Vinny. Be as unpredictable as possible. Play as crazy as you can, because all the weight's off your shoulders in terms of expectations. First kill in this confrontation goes his way. There's a smoke put down on the site, and now he's going to try and spray through there. Wasn't too far off, but Twist returns fire. Very nice try from Vinny. A bomb plant plus taking an extra kill away and forcing a replenished weapon is actually huge for the T's. And this may catch up with Liquid further on down the line. So well played.
Sure. Let it slide. Again, one of those clutches that you never think it's possible until he's 2 kills deep and we're all about to lose our shit. Obviously, we didn't get one of those magical moments, but the series has had them. So we can't be too distraught, especially if this match just keeps on giving. FURIA 2 rounds away from Inferno. And a chance at putting more space between them and Liquid. If FURIA can win this series, their 2020 record in head-to-head is 7-1. Art's on top of the smoke here towards the vent. He hears a player making a bunch of sounds here. That's Twist. Just kind of playing around haphazardly. Grim taking his place. Elige with a spray into 2 Ts. And Henny's all that's left over. He may soften up Elige significantly, but with a minute left and being this outnumbered, just getting that bomb back will be a labored effort.
He successfully retrieved the bomb, but another smoke down. Still has time, can play the mind games with Liquid. If he just stays in hut, probably anticipating at least one of these 3 players goes for a rotation down towards B. But Liquid, with so much on the line, knowing that they're running out of finances and running out of lifelines, may just stick together and afford him the chance to go for that B plant and just stick on A as a 3. So we'll have to see if Henny can maybe get this first entry, because this first entry could quickly turn into 2. Low HP on Elige is a bit of an issue for Liquid. Forces him into a more passive angle behind the silos. This may lull Henny into a false sense of security as he comes outside of hut. First kill goes his way. If Elige goes down, this is doable, but he pulls the bomb out. So unfortunate. And that passive play from Elige paying out in spades. But Liquid lose 3 players again.
Elige, this lineup here, the 2 players shut down with bomb. And you could see where that was their opening. The fact that he had such little HP is left over, of course. Elige works with what he's got. He gets the job done. 9 rounds for Liquid, still trailing by 5. FURIA yet to secure that 15th. And they find themselves relegated back to just some upgraded pistols. They make a lot of sound charging towards ramp, and Elige, he will be tested. Vinny connects it. Naf replaces that 1 player, and he's going to get pushed here. He misses 2 shots, and now they're going to be just trying to chomp down on him. USP getting at least 1 kill. Twists from above him, able to shut down the play outside, and then claw back the kill versus Vinny. FURIA making Liquid sweat all across the board, all across the map. But Grim, he'll seal the deal here. Team Liquid will find double digits at the very least. And they still have the economy for the buyback. Terrorist side also about to purchase. But how many rounds now, Vince, with those limited pistols have we seen FURIA cut it way too close for comfort? They are in control of this second map. They have been for quite some time. It's a matter of breaking through this CT side just 1 more time.
It feels like self-inflicted sweat, though, because Nafline misses 2 AWP shots that he really should be landing, and Elige didn't get the double spray when you'd normally expect him to do so. That really facilitated Furia's opportunities to go in and get some more kills, but they've got to put that to the back of their minds because now it's against the rifles and Nafly misses another shot. These are shots he'd normally be landing and could have a big impact. Good damage put down onto Art through the box. Missing out a couple more opportunities. Stewie goes out to try and deal with that threat, and in doing so, he overextends. And Vinny will capitalize. Elige goes aggressively, trying to catch them in rotation, and Yuri is sat there waiting with the Galil. So you can see the domino effect of Nafly missing the AWP shot, putting his teammates in danger. And now with his death, alongside Twist, this round is surely going to go the way of the Brazilians. And Liquid will be trying to save 5 map points, barring a miraculous punch from Grim. But it is looking bleak now. The NA squad has been slumped one more time.
Oh, that one stings because you see it. You see it unfolding in front of you. You see Team Liquid's chance at hanging on just slip through their fingertips as Naf misses way too many shots. And even once he does land a shot, I feel like that's what gets Stewie killed. You know, he knows he's up close. Nafly calling that he is compromised as an op with that rifler in his face. But Stewie not accounting for the threat of the players in Garage. And if you think about it, we're not inside of the comms right now, but Liquid should have known that that was a massive threat for Stewie to take. So I wonder how informed he was of those players inside Garage. Naf saw 1 or 2 players enter Garage, and then he sees that third player in Art jump down behind the little blue box. He tags him. Nafly knew at the very least there was 2 players there, and Stewie thought that he could just slide out for the kill to go unchecked, but he is fully exposed to the Garage, and he dies to the elements. Now Team Liquid, 5 map points to try and hang off. And it's not looking too good for them. Double M4, 1 FAMAS, and a couple of Ds. Grim, no longer chained down by the limitations of playing inside of the A site, rather now posted outside red. And Art, I mean, listen, man, he is the master of some of these layers of aggression, so you better bet he will keep his guard up. Grim goes for the peek, gets one off of the back line. Yuri immediately trades it, and now they're going to be looking for those follow-up CT peeks, and it comes by way of Deeg. Naf cannot retrieve the weaponry, and so he concedes instead.
Pretty much has to concede if they want to keep in this. You had a little bit of success. Don't get overzealous. Don't give this away again. Shot missing out.
What?
And Naf continues to peek. I'm not sure if he didn't realize that shot was aimed at him, but still comes out with the deagle and punishes Art. Elige now close range with the deagle. Queserato maybe doesn't anticipate the close angle. Elige splatters him, and then Yuri! He is waking up, answering the call of his teammates, and Liquid rally one more time. 4 more to save. And now they're going to be able to pick up some of those AKs and use them against the Ts, but it was all about those clean, crisp 1Ds.
3 of them, Vince. The majority of Furia dying to Juan Deegs. All right. Let that serve as a reminder to you that the talent goes deep when it comes to Team Liquid. You know, they themselves have fallen victim to those kinds of rounds from Furia in this map. We go back just like 2 rounds ago. Team Liquid going to be able to give themselves a little bit more of a chance. Like you said, at least a rallying cry from Liquid there in that 26th round. They didn't have the tools to work with, yet they still pulled off the masterpiece. Now they've got some fine brushes to paint back this comeback canvas with 4 more to go. Hell of a show we've had. Furia does not want to stop providing the entertainment. Smoke grenades go up for the wall outside, and Art's going to get boosted over the top. He's looking for Naf's head, and he catches him in the open. Both players connecting their shots, but neither dies.
Naf can stay in position with the AWP though, but we've already seen him miss a few too many shots. That needs to change. It has been a big issue for Liquid on Nuke. They have been out-aimed and out-dueled almost every single turn, barring a couple of miracle plays with the deagle. Naf, there we go, that's more like it. Vinny drilled on the cross, that stops his incursion into secret or garage. alleviating some of the pressure that was building up. And it wasn't the weakened player of Archer. He is still on the server with 17 HP. And of course, he's still being aggressive. You'd expect nothing else from the man. Naflight, that old nemesis of Art, this time does return the favor, gets revenge for that early damage. And Liquid losing that AWPer will be into a bit of an awkward position. Serato is waiting outside of Hut, so it looks like we are going to have a late pinch through upper, maybe having onto A. And Stewie, realizing it, pushes with twists. Serato gets nullified, and now FURIA have to change their decision. Instead of going up through heaven, they decide to dip down towards the B site, but Elige is here. Elysian waits, springs into action for one. Flashbang out affords him the opportunity to just change up his angle somewhat, and the bomb carrier of Henny is now stuck behind the boxes. Time is running, is dwindling. Those sands of time beginning to erode and splash across the rocks of Liquid. And Liquid get themselves across to a 12th. FURIA likely will save.
Sketchy moments, though. FURIA finding Naf as he tries to continue to go for those peaks. Stewie coming back from the lobby pinch. Also, you can see him jumping back into cover, Vince. A clear indicator that he peeks a bit too wide and is caught by surprise. Ultimately dies. Team Liquid, thanks to Elige, I would say, being that anchor. It's because he was already in position. If they had to scramble down to that B site, then it's not as confidently held. Art, he's going to offer up 40 of his health to get down vents early. Stewie will be called down there to try and keep it at bay. Elige remains on ramp, goes in for the double, and spots that third player too. But the bomb's been planted. And that's a bit of a problem for Liquid, or it could have been. If Art was afforded a bit more of a post-plant position, Grim takes his head off, finds the defuse, and keeps Liquid within 2 of forcing this into overtime.
Well done by FURIA, though, to get the bomb plant. That just gives them that little bit of a better purchase. They can now get all of the fine trimmings that they would want. They had the option of an AWP. They decided against it. Instead, full AK-47s and full utility behind it. They feel like that more mobilized approach is working out better for them. And it's hard to argue against that. I've got up close and personal against Liquid many a time, and that pressure just seems like it's been swelling too much. Naflight wanted to get aggressive. Molotov's there to greet him. Smoke goes in, but actually narrowly misses. That may help out Grim, who goes and overextends. He goes all in, fully commits to it, dies in the process. Twist now holds the line at the back of Silos with his AK. And Stewie, with that aggression, lands the dink onto Henny, so brings him down to his knees in terms of HP. And maybe Naf can do the rest, but that's a solid smoke. Forces Naf to commit in. FURIA, playing with their food, it would seem, start to back away again, but this could get Nafly into an aggressive angle. If he misses this shot, that would have been the bomb traversing down towards B, but instead he holds the line. And Yuri, who was a real powerhouse in that first half, has consistently put out the frags, had good output. He's now in a 1 versus 3, does have his eye on the bomb. No idea where Naflight has retreated to. Could be on the boxes, could be on the back box for all Yuri knows. So he's taking some valuable time just to make sure that he doesn't leave any stone unturned, and now heads back into lobby. 1v3 Scrawny, and if Liquid hold on to this, we could be going the distance to overtime.
Can see it all unfolding ahead of us. It's just which route will we get? Twist still behind second vents. 20 seconds left over. If he dives down to that B site, you've got Elige lying in wait. If he checks vents, he's clear, but he doesn't. And Twist finds the better of the timing to give Liquid that 14th round. You said if Naf misses that shot, Vince. If he misses that shot, you are absolutely correct in that the B bomb site would be so fully compromised. But Naf, even despite having moments in this CT half where his op has betrayed him, or where he's betrayed himself by straight up missing, he still has the balls to walk around up close. I thought it was aggressive enough just holding the side of the smoke, but he goes one better. He goes all the way to the face of the trophy exit and gets the kill they absolutely needed. 24 kills for Elige, 23 frags on Twists and Grim each. We look to the other side. Art and Yuri, 27 and 26. They have been that deadly duo for FURIA. But it's going to need more than a duo to get this 16th round here and now. Nafly just going to have an M4 at his feet in case he gets aggressed. Nice to have an emergency plan in place. Naf eats a couple flashes. The T's, they're trying to pick up the tempo here. They're already starting to compromise Mini. Grim, he shuts that down. Twist gets the kill in Hut. It's only Case Dorado to answer, and overtime looking oh so likely. Unless Yuri can go massive in the 1 versus 3. The grenades go past. He tries to push, and Team Liquid hang on for dear life. 10-5 halves each side, and overtime now presents itself.
And for me, those are the markings of truly great players. It doesn't matter how off your game you might be, you still have full confidence in your own ability to shine when it counts. And that's what we saw from Nafly. Yes, he missed some sitters. He'll be disappointed with that, but he stood tall, as did Liquid. They looked dead and buried on Nuke, and yet here we are, overtime. Momentum in their favor. FURIA now have some questions to answer of themselves. And Liquid may be able to make the most of that momentary lack of concentration, that lack of focus. But FURIA will be lasered in with Art looking into Secret, drops down. Loses a lot of health in the process there, down to 58 purely off gravity. Molotov goes in, forces a leash back. And now Nafly couldn't ask for an easier shot. Completely open, no smokes down there. There's a second. Oh, he's feeling it now, Scrawny. You better believe that confidence is boosted up nicely.
Grim, he's ready to catch a head on Case Dorado. Now it's inside of Hut. The next kills and start to unfold. Vinny, he's going to get caught by a bit of damage here. Naf in the open, still able to fight tooth and nail. 15 HP left as the Liege gets that final kill. Liquid, 1 for 1 in OTCT rounds. 2 for 3 would be par for the course in terms of reflecting our regulation. If they could sweep it, oh boy, are they in control of the situation. 4 players now, with Naf catching up on that op. 4 players now, 20 or more kills for Liquid. Twist gonna take to the floor of the A site early. FURIA starting to disengage away from that outer play. Instead, looking to pound their heads against this A-site defense. It's just about finding an opening. They're going to go for the boost. If there was somebody in the rafters, if there was somebody on Hut, if there was somebody to peek in heaven, then maybe they'd get that opening kill. But it's Liquid on the floor, looking to do work. Twist, empty-handed. That's 2 clean kills coming out of FURIA. Yuri barely alive. The Liege outside of Mini hangs on.
Will be post-plant. So far, coming into this round, the last 10 rounds, 9 of them have gone the way of Liquid. This could be a combo breaker when it really counts for FURIA. A Liege aggressively out through May. First player falls, some damage done. That player advantage has now been nullified, mitigated entirely. Will this post plant be nullified? Case Dorado says no with his AK. Henny sprays in, anticipating that Nafly will be the last player to make a move through main, and that is the correct assumption. His Molotov is going to completely deny him. In actual fact, it was a flashbang, pardon me, but it doesn't really matter because Henny's AK-47 puts it down range, and Liquid have been bested for the first time in overtime. 16 apiece.
Keeping it close as can be. Just like we all want to see, Vince. We knew this matchup was going to deliver. But FURIA, I mean, let's be real. This is them stuttering towards the close of Nuke. However, they did just win that most recent round. So considering the momentum Liquid has used to get this far, now things start to collapse around them. 3 immediate kills coming out for FURIA. The confidence to just rush into the A site leaves Stewie, who has been strapped for frags all second map long, dies empty-handed. FURIA with 2 T rounds. A great showing with regulation round count in mind. 3 on the CT side to take it over the line. No, excuse me, just 2. I'm getting frazzled-dazzled, Vince. I'm taking it round by round. Screw the round count. Let's just see when the game ends.
You know what the scary thing here, though, Scrawny? In regulation, 20 of the rounds were on CT side for both teams collectively.
Yeah.
So the fact that FURIA have already picked up 2 in overtime suggests that, statistically speaking, they're in a better position right now than the scoreline even suggests. Liquid in a spot of bother. Of course, 16K definitely adds a couple of caveats to that statistic. And it has been a while since Liquid played on their T-half, but it did get pushed back time and time again. Think of how well FURIA started on this map. It was 5 or 6-0 at one point. It was looking like they were cruising to a pretty comfortable half. So Liquid gonna have their work cut out for them, and it was this man Art who was so aggressive with the AWP all half long. Does land a shot there. The no-scope nearly gets his second, and Twist now gonna barrage outside of Hut with his teammates, but both AWPs over here. Henny got a fast enough call that he rotated in through heaven and puts down the pain where it was required. Liquid 2v3 stacked against them with Nafly on a measly 9 HP. And they smoke onto the site and Decon. They're going to try and push behind this, but here's Vinny from the double doors, taking significant damage. This would be such a huge moment for Grim to step up and clutch out for Liquid. If he pulls this off, they're right back into this overtime. Otherwise, they're eyeing up 2 map points for FURIA, and he can't get the job done. FURIA still have more chances.
Yeah, who other than Yuri to shut down that attempted clutch by Grim? The damage onto that first player makes you think there's a world of possibility, but FURIA have been so confident with playing around side smokes. And you see it right there by Yuri. Grim not quite ready to have already had a man push past. 2 map points. Up on Art. Yuri sits on the side of the smoke, just patiently waiting here. Damn, Liquid, they found that exit down the ramp into the B site for completely free. So just going to show how much attention FURIA stacked up on the A site. I couldn't believe that Art was able to survive as long as he did. Just goes to show the respect they have to give him when it comes down to closing that last 5 feet of distance between him and his opponents. Now he's going to get aggressive here, and yep, there it is. Naf calling him into action, just going for those little bits of spam, giving away the audio cues until Art felt absolutely confident enough to peek. But in the meantime, Liquid have moved down to the B bomb site. Henny, he's going to be pressured by utility. Decon is lost already entirely. And Henny, he just has to hold off for his teammates to arrive. He goes aggressive. He decides to fight before the other pieces are in place, and it works. But oh, Elige, he looks away just as K-Serrano goes for it. It's Stewie's chance to claw this one back. 2 men in the post plant, Grim and Stew. Grim shuts down the peak from the double doors, and now it's even, but not the HP. Grim, he just turns on a dime and shuts it down in time to leave it on K-Serrano. He has a huge health advantage, and an excellent grenade to the back of the bomb site shuts that one down, but now he knows where Stewie's at. A single bullet would be the difference, and Stewie's just gonna patiently post on stairs. He waits and dares K-Serrano to try and stick the defuse, which is exactly what he's gonna do. Stewie runs out and goes down, but now he's back on it. Is there time? It comes to the wire. Oh, and FURIA win the round. FURIA push this to map 3.
Oh my god. Even the last round, the last defuse goes down to the wire. Everything about this map was exceptional, was unbelievable. And you come out of this thinking this Inferno could just be an absolute banger, Scrawny. Like, everything is set up for this 3rd map to really deliver and be incredible. Stewie was so unfortunate there with the post-plant situation. It just wasn't planted for him, and he felt like he had to go in. Like, his options were so small.
Incredibly small, Vince. I mean, he had such a little chance at going for that, but it felt like there was a little chance for Stewie across this 2nd map. You know, we questioned Henny on Vertigo as he was at the bottom of the scoreboard. It was Stewie's turn, and Naf, he took over the game with his sniper. So let's just see how Inferno unfolds. You've got the analysts after the break to give you an analysis of that one.